Alright, and again, now that I got that set into place, yeah, I just soldered it right to that leg there. Now that we're all said and done with that, make sure you go through and clean up after yourself. Now we're going to go ahead and flip it over. And we're coming down here to the underside. Now, on the underside, we're almost using the exact same points. I don't know why. In fact, I should have done some research on this first, but we used to go to FT4R2 right here with this big old blue wire. For some reason now they're wanting us to go underneath the X clamp down in here to oh, what is it, like the CR1511 or C5R, yeah, the C5R11.
Like a blue one? You did that blue one? Oh. Hey.
Okay. Sorry about that. Boy's playing Dead Island. He needs help. Yada yada yada. Alright, we're going to be doing our yellow wire here first. As you can see, it just comes to the same rail right along the side of the X clamp here. Oop. Oop. Pardon me. And we're going to the second pad on the outside. First thing we're going to do is add a little bit of flex paste to it. Now, I'm going to come in here and put just a dab of fresh solder on it. Not much. I don't want to put too much heat to this for too long of a period of time, because this is a very small point. I got some solder right on the tip of my iron. Bring that in. And boom. Clean up after yourself. Now, granted this is not going to stay installed, but all the same, I think I'm going to take some Kapton tape and put it across there. Alright. A little piece of Kapton tape there. Keep that thing from moving around or snagging on anything or ripping it off the board. Hate when that happens. Okay. Next is our CPU RST wire, the blue wire. Okay, so I just did a little bit of reading on this, and actually it seems as though with the CPU RST, this blue wire, you can still go to the FT4R2, but they recommend you try the C5R11 first. And with this yellow wire, the post out, if it doesn't work like this, they recommend trying 50 centimeters to 70 centimeter long wire. So it'd be basically similar to this blue wire, which is where my confusion came in. Alright, so they're wanting us to go to a point underneath these X clamps. So we're going to have to take the X clamp off. And I've always been big on, if you take the X clamp off, you really should go ahead and change the thermal paste afterwards. Really, anytime I do an install for the first time, I'll go ahead and change the thermal paste. Okay, so I got the X clamps off now. I'm going to go ahead and Get this blue wire soldered up. Yeah, man. Alright, the point we're going to is right here. It's actually right next to the yellow wire. Right next to one of the bolts, and it was directly under the X clamp, which is why we had to remove the X clamp. So we're going to the C5R11 right there. You can see yellow wire, just go straight across. And we're going to these two solder points here. We're going to the one farthest from this row. So this side. Alright? Now there's no solder on it right from the get-go. So we're going to put a little solder on this pad right off the bat. See if my iron's all ready. Yep, sure is. Go ahead and heat the pad and apply the solder to it. Now I got a little bit of solder left on the tip of my iron here. Give me just a second. I'm going to trim the tip of this blue wire. It's a bit long. I want it fairly short. Alright, come on. Get the rest of this blue wire to stay out of the way. Right, as you can see, I got it trimmed pretty short here. I'm going to come in. If you want, you could use a pair of tweezers. And there you have it. Blue wire is in place. Now, of course, I'll go ahead and clean up. Alright. I'm going to treat this just like with the cool runner when you're using the blue wire. And just kind of coil this up. I'm going to take a piece of Kapton tape, put it right here. Hold that wire in place. Oops. Baby's got a cold too. Alright, I don't want this thing moving around at all, so I'll lock it in there. If you choose, you could use hot glue. Most of the times I'll use hot glue, but for the sake of the video, I'm using the Kapton tape because it would take too long to heat up the hot glue gun. Alright, so I'm going to loosely spool this wire like so, and then stick another piece of Kapton tape across it, just for the time being. Once I'm finished with all this, I could remove these and go ahead and install a post-out QSB. Clean up the install. Make it look real nice. I see I'm covering the hole here, you may notice. I don't care. I'm just trying to get it to boot and it's all coming right back off. crappy thing is I'm gonna have to change the thermal paste because this stuff's pretty well gone, and then I gotta take it apart again. Alright, so that's it for actually installing the DGX. The rest of the work is going to be either on the computer or maybe making adjustments, trying different wiring configurations for the blue and the yellow wire. You can use a different gauge wire on the yellow. Actually, I think you can use a longer yellow wire up to 70 centimeters to get it to glitch a little better, just to get your keys. And then you can use a heavier gauge wire like what's used for the Demon. It's 24 gauge, and go to the FT402 and 8 to 12 centimeters long for this blue wire. Instead of going to the C5R11, you can take it to the FT402. Use a heavier gauge wire, but for the time being I'm showing you this way. You can try the other ways if you like. I don't think I'll be doing a video on that stuff, so alright, I'll be back on the computer. See you soon. And this is Q423 with EpicCouncil.com.